Hey everybody, it's Bev Hill with Bev Hill Arts and Crafts. I'm here to do a quick little demo. Hope everybody's doing well. If you're catching this live, it's a Sunday afternoon. Let's see, I think I can get a little further back, have a little bit more to see. Just a second here. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So welcome. I can still adjust it. The lighting looks pretty darn good. Now I need to get my glasses on. And we'll get going here about 1 minute. 1 minute to go. So if you're watching and you're watching live, say hello in the chat. I am watching off to the side on my laptop, so I'll look up every so often. And I thought I would just show you 2, maybe 3, because sometimes I get carried away with myself, but just a couple of ways to make easy watercolor panels for card making. Hey Lynn, hello. So the 2 that I made, we'll repeat these. I've got Hooray. And this is just an old die set that I have. You can use any die word or a stamped image, completely up to you. Your focal point or salutation is on you, but I'm going to show you how I did these cute little panels. So I've got Hooray, and the other one I have is I've got a die set that's Happy Birthday. And again, I just had some foam glitter, and we're going to do these little panels, okay? So let's get those off to the side, and I've pre-cut a few pieces so I can put it together again. And all right, got some scraps. These are just my leftovers of what I cut. All right, get that off to the side. I've got a couple brushes. I did remember to grab water. I'm pretty impressed with myself here. I might need the dryer. If so, I apologize because it's kind of loud. And to activate these, I've got a little bit of spray water. I'm just going to spray. I don't know what color combo I'll do today. I'm going to give them a good bath. Just let that kind of start activating with the water and the paint so that I've got something I can grab when I put that brush in there. Okay? And I thought I would show you on smooth paper. So if you don't have watercolor paper, kind of what it would look like on smooth paper. And I've got watercolor. So I will start with this, and I'll just let this be kind of my background to catch it. There we go. And I'm going to take this kind of it's just a square brush. Let's see, what is that? I'd say it's about a 1/2 inch. I'm going to dip it in some water. And I feel like I always love pink. So I'm going to start with pink. That might be a little too watery, too painty, because I want it to be watery. And I'm just going to do a little half circle here. I can always come back and add a little bit more color. Now I'm going to bring a circle into the middle, and you can see I'm not sweating it as far as perfect circles, right? They're going to be a variety of sizes. Let's make a bigger one down here in this corner. Hi, Dawn. I'm back in a sweater again. It's early June, and it was, when I was out and about earlier, it was in the mid to upper 50s, and pretty good amount of rain. All right, that might be everything I want for this color. So I didn't leave a lot of room, so if I'm going to add a second color, which I want to, I'm just going to come in here for this gold-ish, and I'm going to make smaller. So I've already changed my design this time around. But there's no rules, right? I would love scrapbook paper in this. We'll do a little one right there in the corner. Maybe a bigger one right there. I think I got to do another small one right there. So this needs to dry, so I'm going to set that off to the side, but it's shimmery paint. I'm going to hold it up here, see if you can see some of the shimmer. The weather is crazy. So I'm going to set that guy off to the side. Let's do it again because we just kind of got in our groove. I will do it on this piece of paper just so you can see. You can watercolor on cardstock. I love this looking green here. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty cool. And I love green and pink together. I think that's a great color combo. So if you do a big piece like this, then you can cut it down to card panel sizes after you get a big one done. This one a little bit more color. It sure looks a lot golder there, but I think the gold is going to pop out when that shimmer dries. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess I'm going to let that soak in a little bit more and go to my pink. I'm going to try to do the same size-ish. I'm going to be a little bit more watery. See, this is real easy peasy. So if you've got a scrap piece of paper and some watercolor, you can make card panels. Let's see if that green activated again. So this is just to show you that you do not have to do it on watercolor paper. White cardstock, I mean it'd be hard, but you could do it on black, but white or cream. Just relaxing. If you have a little art journal, it's fun just to do some of these pages. And because we've got a lot of room here, I'm going to go ahead and pick another color and just do tiny ones in the middle. And I think it's got to go back to this gold. So I'm just going to do tiny circles in there, just to help fill it up a little bit. Again, nothing is perfect. I don't have anything in mind. I like the colors too. Gold goes with everything, I think. And then I do love purple and green together. Don't you think we should have scrapbook paper made like this? All right, so as it dries, the shimmer is going to come through, but it's going to take a couple minutes. Okay, so there's on regular paper. This is actually mixed media paper. It's just smooth cardstock. That's what I had handy. This is watercolor paper. So, ooh, it's really turning out pretty. I'm going to let it dry, and let's move on to the next pattern, and then we'll make cards out of it, okay? So, here's watercolor paper. And I've got this brush that is at 1/2 inch. And I'm going to be able to go over, I'm going to be able to extend beyond my little piece that I've already cut for a card panel. And I like this kind of a watery aqua blue. And I'm going to kind of start with a bolder line. I'm just going to do stripes. I had some of my gold left in there, so I'm going to see if I can get a little bit more of that teal in there. There we go. And now I'm going to try to do a little bit thinner line. So I just turned my brush to the side. Again, I don't want to go perfectly straight. I want it to look, I don't know, imperfect, relaxed. Maybe relaxed would be a better word for it. I'm going to go even, whoops, it slid on me a little wider. Okay, let's do another. Let's do a real thin one if I can. Medium. And I'll try to go all the way to the edge there. All right. Oh, I hope my head wasn't in there. Sorry. Imperfectly perfect. That's right. It's just, I just love these shimmers. They're so pretty. Okay, so now I'm cleaning off my brush a little bit. And this is a real gold, I believe. So I want the softer gold. So I'm going to go with this one again. I'm really sticking with this guy. And what I'm going to try to do is carefully just put a little gold stripe right in between there. And if it runs together a little bit, I don't care. I don't know if I can get in between there. I'll try. There we go. Maybe a little bolder on that one. All right, there's my stripes. I want that to dry too. So let's set that off to dry, and I've got another piece of just manila cardstock. And let's shake it up again. Let's go with this kind of bolder green. Let's see. I do want it to be kind of a stripe, so I'm going to go this way. Ooh, that's a pretty color. There's my first stripe. See if I can, because this is a bigger piece of paper, I can do 2 swipes with my brush. And then just come back in the middle, kind of blend it in. Let's do a thinner one. Another thinner one. That one got kind of messy, that's okay. A little bit of water. There we go. This cake is really full. It's like up over, so the water goes down and over. That's okay. Let's try to go, I'm going to do a double wide here. It has been crazy weather for us here in the Omaha Metro. Let's do a real narrow one now. There we go. And the shimmer's already starting to come out. So I'm varying the widths, not sweating out whether or not it's perfectly straight. I think we get the idea here. So I'm going to end it here because we got a good chunk of paper we could cut out. And instead of gold in between, because I love pink and green, let's put some pink in the middle, shall we? Need to get that. And let's put a couple different pinks. We're going to get fancy on this one. I'm going to start with this light pink. So pretty. Now I'll hit the darker pink. Go back to the lighter. I'm trying not to run into the other color, but if I do, that's okay. Need some more water. I'm getting down to real cakey paint, and I like it to be, that should be dark, so I'm going to skip one while I got the light. And then I'll come back to my dark, filling in the in-between. Let's see, light, so I need another dark. And light. And then a dark. I don't think to the, right here, the naked eye, that you can really tell those two colors of pink, but I think as they dry, it's going to add more interest. And I think that'll be real pretty to cut apart for a card panel. Okay, so let's see how our first one is drying up. Oh yeah, that feels dry to me. So the next thing I do, you can do a couple different things. I'll bring this one here too. So for the card panel, this one, if I want to duplicate what I did on my picture, I'm using a glaze pen. I think we're done with paint, so I'm going to close this off to the side, make some room here. This is going to leave like a raised edge on it. So, and I'm going to make sure it's drying, which it is. So I'm just going to do a real loose trace around my circles. And if I do it twice, then it looks like it was supposed to be messy. So I really love these glaze pens. Sakura Jelly. Just the black is not going to do it for you. It's the glaze that you want. Okay, so here is my card panel that I also pre-cut because I outlined in black. I thought it was nice to kind of pop that on top of just a little bit of black there. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down to this. I'm probably going to use my 450 glue for this piece of it. I'll go ahead and glue this to the card base. Just kind of sliding it in until I think it's even top, bottom, left, and right here. And that's the way it's opening, so I have glued things on upside down. Now, because I'd like this to get a nice close glue, I'm going to go in with my art glitter glue right around the edge as close as I think I can. And then I'm going to throw some of my 450 glue in the middle because I don't want things to bubble up. You could ink your edge if you wanted. I just think that right now for me the edge of the black cardstock will be enough contrast for me. And I'm just kind of pressing down until I feel like it's all made good contact. Just like that. Look, isn't that just a fun little card? And then you can put your own stamped image. You could watercolor a piece of paper with one of these colors and then stamp on top of it if you wanted it to be color coordinated. This is a piece of black foam and then a piece of black cardstock. And I love Hooray because that can be, I just went to lunch with the gal who just got a brand new job promotion, so Hooray could be for that, or it could be Hooray because it's your birthday. But either one of those would work. I mean, I just think that's a great Hooray. This Thursday is my 45th wedding anniversary. Hooray, we've been married 45 years, which I cannot believe. I don't feel like I can be old enough to be married for 45 years. I still feel like I'm in my 20s or my 30s or my 40s. Cannot believe it. So I just think this is a kind of a nice general, do you call it a salutation? I think so. So I would glue that on top just like that. That's card number 1. All right. So here's another thing you can do with these, which I think is really cute. Imagine that you would cut a piece of this apart for your card panel and you wouldn't have to do anything else. But I love to like go in between these and then draw some big flowers that overlap my watercolor. And I think I saw this on Facebook as a watercolor artist was doing it. It's a very imperfect flower. That's fine with me. Let's make this a bigger center, and let's make this a bigger flower. And that's even going to go off the page. And you can come back and get fancy with these, or you can just leave them real plain. Kind of get the idea? Just using that as a background and then putting the flowers in between them. So let's do one over here. Thank you, Justine. I know, I think I said it to somebody earlier, it's really kind of surreal to me. Now we could, part of the interest is, it's not very artistic, but it's a couple different things. If you use different pens that are thicker and thinner, and you draw flowers in different sizes, you get a lot of interest without having to do a lot of different kind of things, right? So just by doing a couple great big ones, a lot of medium size, and a couple of smaller, all by itself, that is giving it more interest. I think it's time for us to draw great big ones, so we'll do one right over here. And then if I came back with a thicker pen, a bigger point, and even a smaller point, a finer tip, you can get a lot more interest. And I do have this zig right here, which I didn't plan on it, but what if we did one here that was a boulder? And I really prefer the finish of my glaze pen. But it's just to show you an idea of how much different they're going to look just by using a different pen. Let's see if I can do a little one down here, or littler. Isn't that something? And if we did a teeny, it's going to be harder to do a tiny one with a bolder tip. Right? Just that adds more depth or detail. Let's see if I can do a teeny, teeny, tiny one right here. And then you could get into doodling, which is a whole other thing, but I just wanted to show you how this looks so pretty, and all we did was paint circles on the background and then draw generic flowers. Again, this would be great scrapbook paper, wouldn't it? I'd love some scrapbook paper like that. Okay. Any questions about that before I move to my striped paper? Everybody good? All right, I'm going to set this off to the side. And I've got kind of a messy piece of cardstock or card base. So I think I'll use the one that I've splashed on, see if I can cover that up. And I have some mirror teal pre-cut. And this time I have my stripes going this direction. So I'm going to do the same thing I did. Always have to be careful with glue and foil, because it'll wipe that foil right off if we're not too careful. So I'm going to come around the edge with my art glitter glue. And there's no exact right way to do it. And I'm going to throw some of my Fabrifix glue right in the center. I'm going to smash that down because I want to get as close to my edge without bleeding onto that foil as possible. I need a little bit more along this edge. And then the other thing is try not to transfer it, the glue on your finger, to the paper. All right, so let's kind of eyeball that, see if I can slide it into place. It's looking pretty good. Left, right, top, and bottom. And I think anybody that you give these to, they really appreciate that feel of personalization, that you made it just for them. All right, let's see if that disguises that enough. I think I'm okay. I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down. This part I'm not as worried about. It was that getting that watercolor paper connected nicely to that mirror paper, that foil. And I'm going to take a look here. It looks pretty straight up here, pretty even left and right, and I feel comfortable top and bottom as well. And just until that sets, I'm just going to kind of press with my hand so that a bubble doesn't sneak up, a bubble in that paper. Now this time I didn't think about it, but I went this way with my stripe instead of this way. So that's okay. And there's still, I have room that I could put the happy birthday this way, or I could have the stripes going that way. So it's just, you know, to each his own, what you would like, how you like that look. And I do like glitter foam because it's just one cut, but it pops it up a little bit. And I do think I like it going along my stripe this direction. So that's probably how I would glue that guy down. So there you go. Let me pull them both back into the camera, what we made today. So nice. Now they'll both fit in the camera pretty well. So you've got happy birthday and hooray. And then again, just another thing you can do with those circles. Right? So there you go. I think it's fun. I don't think, you know, you can just do it and relax. You don't have to be precise. Look at that dirty card base. Might have to just paint that whole thing. Whoopsie. So I'll be back here 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern, and I'll do a sneak peek of some of the items that I already have available for sale and what will be in the sale for the month of June starting this Wednesday. So join me if you can. If not, it's recorded. I think what I'll focus a lot on is, I probably won't pull papers out of the pack, but I'll show you packs or bundles. But I'll do flip throughs of some of my mini albums that I've made, because sometimes a picture of the cover just doesn't do it justice. I love the colors too. Thank you. Yeah. We could have fun just doing different color combos because there's so many pretty colors in that paint set. But as it dries, I'm really seeing some of the shimmer pull through. And that's fun too. All right, this was a short and sweet, just a fun, fast demo, but I said it would be easy. Did you think it was easy? Are you going to try it? If you do, I think you could comment right here with a picture of what you do. I'd love to see. You know, Dawn, this is Prima, and it's Shimmering Lights. Shimmering Lights by Prima. I guess that's all it says on it. It's got nice shimmer for sure. All right, guys. if we've got nothing else, I'm going to sign off for now and see you in a couple hours. I'll try not to make too big of a mess between now and then. Take care. Bye.